across Ascension Land, throughout the test of time, oh, there was music and sip and spirits free, those songs of yours and of mine. Yes, good evening, we're back in the Collective View. It's JP. Hope you're all well, you lovely people. And it's my good man, it's with me, Mr. I don't talk about Mac Freeze anymore, Andy Gray. How are we, mate? Hope you've had a great weekend, and it's good to see your big, handsome, smiling face.
I'm good, mate. I was singing along in the background, mate. What a song. Absolutely brilliant. It's unfortunate it's raining, mate. The summer's done in Glasgow where it looks it. So, apart from that, I'm good, mate. Still lost the razor, mate. I'm rocking the beard now, mate. So if I do good comments on it, so I just need to keep it, mate. So, but all in all, good weekend, mate. Obviously, Celtic are back now in terms of pre-season, so kind of good to see some content for the Twitter and the YouTube and stuff, mate. So it's good in that sense as well. But overall, mate, I was working all weekend, mate. So apart from that, I'm all good, mate. But listen, like Anne says, we don't stop, mate. We don't stop.
We don't stop.
But now it's let's get to work, mate. So let's get to work tonight.
That's it, definitely. A couple of people joining us tonight. Anne James joining us. Anne James says, "Evening, folks. Despite the weather, had a great day today, including my happy, laughable accident. Hope everyone else did too." To be fair, Anne James, I hope your accident wasn't too hasty and you've managed to. Well, you've obviously survived because you wouldn't be commenting on here otherwise. So, but it's good that you've had a nice wee day. And Anne James reckons I've been on the booze, Ryan, but no, I've no. I'm actually just really happy.
Monday Club.
And he says, "Comrades, hail, hail." Jerry's actually the one on Friday, Ryan, that got just about every question in the quiz, right?
Oh, right, brilliant.
Evening, Jerry. And Michael the boy says, "Good evening, troops." Evening, Michael. How are we? Mate. And Francis wasn't happy there, so he said, "And with that song from JP, good night." Good night, Francis. Have a
good night, mate.
Good night, mate. It's Monday night. He'll be getting ready. He'll be getting tucked up into his bed shortly with a wee bit of hot malt.
No, I know what he's waiting on tonight. One of the apps I've got tonight. That's what he's waiting on.
He's waiting on that. He's waiting on your double D's coming out, mate.
That's why he said good night. You can't wait to get yourself sorted for the night.
Hi. I've got the t-shirt on me. He's got the money on. Brilliant. Good evening, Francis. Hope you're well. Big Bev's joining us as well. He says, "Hope you're all well, boys. Evening, everyone." Good evening,
Bev.
How are we, mate? Just on that, I'll just fire away with that now. If anyone's new at all to the podcast, you'll probably see in your left-hand side of the screen that this podcast is now sponsored by A&B Entertainment, and it is the very man who I just put his comment up a second ago there, Mr. Alec Beveridge. This is his DJ business for anyone who's just joining us for the first time and maybe is unaware. I know the guys that are probably watching us around probably fed up with me saying this now, but unfortunately, mate, we need to. Well, fortunately for Alec and Bev, we need to announce this every episode now. So, guys. So anybody at all that's looking for any sort of functions, no matter what it is, please look no further than A&B Entertainment. That's the phone number that's on screen just now for you. Alec caters for every kind of function that you can think of. And anyone at all wishing to get a hold of Alec, that's the best number to do so. Ryan, as I said plenty of times, mate, we are very privileged to have Bev on board with us, mate.
Yeah, like you says, mate, he covers and caters for anything. There's a few weird queries about what he can cater for, but I'm sure Bev will knock something out the park, mate, and get anybody involved that they can. So, but on a serious note, he's a great guy, good friend, big Celtic fan, and his business is brilliant as well. So anybody who needs to get involved with events, if I've got anything coming up, occasions, birthdays, anything at all, Alex will get you a good deal, and he will have a fantastic night with his. It's not just a good night, JP. It is, we call it the full package. For, I like to say, for what you're paying for these days, depends who you're going with, JP. You don't get the full experience. Some just play tunes and we'll just sit and do a bit of karaoke. But Alex does do the full package, and I know sometimes that makes your night.
Alex does do the full Monty. I thought you were going to say that, Ryan.
I was going to say does a double denim, but we'll keep that for something else. You know what I mean? I don't know if double denim will suit Bev and does me. I don't know.
No.
We'll need to wait and see about that one. No, but all in all, mate, it's a fantastic business he's got, mate, and like you say, he caters for every ages, mate. So yeah, definitely get involved. If you don't know the number or you can't see the number properly on screen, get involved with all the pages that Alex has got, and you can get involved with me, JP, and the Twitter pages and TikTok. If there's anything to do with Alex's business that you want to get in touch with, if it's for any events coming up that you really want to get in touch with us, and then we'll get you in touch with Alex as well.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. KP Boys John, he says, hail all. Hail, mate. Hope you've had a good weekend yourself, mate, and apart from the weather not being the greatest for us all, but yeah, and I hope everyone else has also had a good weekend. For me, it's been a bit of a quick weekend, in all honesty. Today was a great day, though. My wee boy turned 5 today, so
brilliant.
Me man's been busy today, so it's been a good laugh. He's like a half-shot knife now, right enough. He's in his bed, so he's he's had a great day, and it's just hard to believe, Ryan, he's got to school this summer as well, mate. It's after the summer. Time flies, mate, when you're having fun. It also flies when you fling a cloak at somebody as well. But
also flies you flying a plane.
I'd imagine that's up with that man. It used to sit above your head.
Listen, that'll make an appearance sometime again. Don't worry about that. Don't know when, mate, enough, but maybe when my mum and dad put it back, it might enough.
Aye.
That's when it might turn up. I don't know.
Big cons touching me hands, not that. Better not start on that.
We started at 8:30, ended at 8:30. Still no move. You know what I mean?
Every time you walked into your house at 10 o'clock, the time up came on.
Aye, 2:30, 10:30.
I was like, it's just a jump to the left.
Brilliant.
That's how I love being here with you, mate, because it's always a bit of good crack. I was actually starting to feel tired before we started this. I feel as if I've licked a battery. But that's the energy that I get. Just
that's because we've spoken with Double D's at the start of the podcast. Mm-hmm. Mate, that's why we're all buzzing.
Aye, it's got me a wee bit warm here.
But like, just wait half time, take it off, but right, don't take it off now. You know what I mean?
If I take this half an hour, mate, we'll be left with no views. There'll be email comments in the drop box, then I thought, we're like, oh.
Was that K-Boy's left, Michael's left? Oh, no, we've all left the chat.
I thought, lads, see, to be honest with you, we don't do walking away, we can stay and come back.
Come back.
We don't do walking away. No, don't do it.
Come back.
Don't go down that road. Weekend, dead fast, as I said, Ryan. What's going on in the football world? Well, the Celtic are flying, and they're flying because they're rewarding hard work and success, and that's what I like to see. And that's what we are seeing now in terms of Kyogo, Maeda, and now Callum McGregor today, all committing their long-term futures to the club. People are saying, these deals were already done. But listen, the icing on the cake was a manager. I don't care what MD says. Let's not beat about the bush or anything like that at all. The icing on that cake was the manager, because they boys would have been looking at the club in terms of, right, where are we going now? Angie's away. What's happening? Where are we going in terms of a manager? They've went out and brought in an elite manager now, and they've been right, okay. Then speaking to the manager, they probably went, off, here we go, excited. Let's get that pen, let's get that paper, let's get that signed. Simple as that, mate. for me, that's it in a nutshell, in my opinion, man.
Aye, they're rewarding hard work, they're rewarding success, and they're rewarding talent. There's a lot of things involved in why they're getting new contracts, and obviously they're looking at the financial sense. No really on McGregor, because I think McGregor will be here for life now, unless you get a mad bid for maybe the Far East or whatever. Aye, for like 80 or 60 million, whatever it was. Then by all accounts, you probably would need to sell, because that amount of money, no matter who it is, it's just something you couldn't turn down for the club. So that's probably the only thing that would ever get McGregor away. And to be fair, by the looks at JP, I don't know if that would even enter his mind. I don't know if even the money side it would come into it, because he spoke about it in the sense that he win trophies and he loves being here with the manager and the players. And even Scott Brown says it. Says, I had chances to go away down to Newcastle and Spurs and probably other teams. And he says, no, I want to win trophies. Why would you leave a team that's fighting in Europe every season, fighting for trophies, playing in big stadiums in front of fans? And it just shows you, JP, that there is some loyalty in football. No in every team. But in some players and some clubs, and there is loyalty. Again, talking about loyalty, a good friend Barry Barnett, Sheffield Wednesday, is another good sense of loyalty. There's other teams like Chelsea with John Terry as well. He was good. He was loyal to them. I know he's not a guy we talk about, but in terms of football, Gerard Liverpool was good loyalty. He stayed for a long time before I went to other clubs. So there's loads of players that in the past, but now the game's changing with money. But for me, I don't know what you feel, JP, but for me, it's a massive.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Kev.
Love
Kev,
you
sorry.
well, mate.
Kev, sorry, KP boy, sorry, mate. For
Sorry,
me,
mate, I thought you knew the guy.
No. Hi, Kev, how you doing?
No,
I don't know him. That's
thanks very much.
Aye, cheers,
thanks very much for your comment, and thanks very much for
Yeah.
birthday wish as well.
Aye, so for me, JP, it's a massive statement, again, in my opinion. We've got Rodgers in, we've got Maeda and Kyle. I know I've not really touched on they two since I was last on, but Maeda it's a good one, because I don't think
one of the commentators there. Maeda.
That's me half 10.
Honestly, I thought you were turning into big Archie McPherson.
Aye, oh yeah.
Maeda!
I'll bet half 10 was shouting something.
All you missed out was like one of these Spanish or Mexican commentators. All you missed out was,
oh man, I know. I'm not going to interpret commentators because I can't deal with you, mate. So, but no.
That's why you employed me. That's why you brought me here. By the way, if you don't believe me, it's in my contract. It's under the T&C.
It's in my contract now that I need to mention Double D about 50 times a podcast.
Aye. Bev made you sign that waiver, didn't he? You've done that.
But in terms of Callum, mate, it's a massive statement. Again, Rangers have spent some money, but now we're told, obviously,
football monitoring board's telling me here that they're going to have to renegotiate that part of you. You're not fulfilling that.
Right, okay.
Right, I will let them know.
Just give it 10 minutes, I'll mention it again, right? But obviously, we've got him in a brand new contract, shall I say. It's only an extra 2 or 3 years, maybe in Tappy's deal, but it's a big statement, because you look at the other side of the water, Rangers have spent a bit of money in attackers, which I'm not going to get into too much, but in terms of goal-wise, I don't think it's good business. But again, some people can do well and then come to clubs and do well. So I'll keep kind of stressing that now. But then again, we've not been told, but we've seen according to the papers that they now need to go and sell to recoup some money or get away some of the fringe players.
Yeah.
But Michael Beale was coming out and saying that his budget was no restrictions, but we'll leave it at that. That's for another day, another topic, because we're probably going about it all day, but we're here to talk about Celtic. So McGregor, for me, is a massive statement to Scotland and to the Rangers, because it shows that, it just shows that they're going to move forward, because like he says, he was interviewed JP a day in Celtic TV, that if I felt the club wasn't moving forward, then I would need to have a think about my next move. And the fact that a guy like, in my opinion, he's top draw, JP. Even in Punch, he's top draw, mate. He's really, really good. I say people could come back at me if you're no Celtic fans, but other fans in Scotland or even down south, they can come back and hit me with it. But I'll take their debate, I'll take their opinions, but I probably won't agree with it that Callum McGregor could easily play down south for just about every team. I'm not saying every week, but he could easily take away tap phone, mate. Maybe one of the benches.
Back yourself, because no, seriously,
he'd maybe be on.
I agree with
you. Seeing the tap four, right? He'd maybe be on the benches, right? But let's be fair, he's better than guys like Fred.
Who?
Fred for Man United, he's better than him.
I don't know who you were meaning there, man.
No, he's better. He's done better than some of the guys that played down south, and they've won, and they've played in some teams which sometimes they've got trophies, but they've not played their part in. They take their games in seasons. I'm not saying he would go and play in Man City. I'm not saying that. He could maybe sit on the bench, or he'd be in the squad. I believe he's good. It's just my opinion. People might say, Ryan, if you're well off it here, that's fine. It's football. We've all got opinions. But you're not going... But he would... I did say on Twitter months ago, especially the bottom 10, and maybe up to the top 8 or maybe 8 or 7, 8, he would play week in, week out, in my opinion. But again...
I would actually put that to the viewers.
Because in my opinion, JP, he's very good. He's not. You see him with Scotland, JP, as well, and people say sometimes he's not the best for Scotland. But listen, he's very, very good. And when he's playing well, Scotland play well as well. And I just think, for me, I don't know what you think, JP. I'll let you back in, mate, because I know I'm a bit here, because I love him, JP. You know what? I love him. I think he's brilliant. And again, I don't want to say we're lucky to have him, because he's come through the youth system and he wants to be here. But he could. I don't care. He's got mega money now. He might not back on free anymore. I'm not on my prices. I don't know.
I thought you'd get that him for nothing.
What depends what he's giving me, but know what I mean. I don't know what type of show he's going to give me. Know what I mean?
Not to get us a pair of boots for fun.
Then I'll be my head. But no, I think.
Hopefully they make that noise when the guys delivering them for us.
I know. But I don't know what you feel, JP, but I think it's a massive statement. Obviously, Kyogo is a goal scorer. Keep your valuable players in Maeda. He runs the legs off people. He's crucial. He might not be technically the best, but he's crucial to what we do in terms of going forward, and he's crucial to the system. I know a lot of people are saying about Maeda, Rodgers, it might change the system. I don't think he'll want to change it too much, because see if he changes it too much, he'll need to bring other players, because these players are new. I know I've always said good players can adapt, but then you need to buy players that might actually suit the system better, that you want to tweak the game that you want to play. So I don't think he'll play too much changes. I think he might tweak in terms of, it might be attacking based but more possession based than it was. Hans was just get the ball wide, get it in the middle and go for the throat. I think you might see a bit more nicey football and then get the ball forward. So I don't know what you feel, JP, but I just feel it's a massive statement.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, mate. I think it's a statement of intent, and I totally agree with Bev. He says, I think McGregor signing that deal was a big statement from the club and manager, as it shows our intent for the future. Not only that, Bev, as well, what I would add to that is it also shows Callum McGregor's intentions as a player, and what he sees himself doing for the next five or so years. So I think the important thing to take away from the, Maeda signing a new deal and Kyogo. I think that, what we can take away from that is these guys have committed their future to Celtic. They see their future being with the club. because I think these guys can see, guys, ladies and gents who are joining us also, they can see what's coming ahead. They can see what, they obviously must see a clear vision from the manager, and they see what sort of pathway we are going to follow with the manager. So I think personally, it's all going to marry really, really well for the club and us as fans moving forward. And to have a guy, folks, in terms of Callum McGregor's stature and quality, when he could potentially have other options to maybe better his finances. I'm not going to say bigger club, Brian, because there's no many bigger. There really isn't. But in terms of finances, there could be more lucrative deals out there for him. I think the big plus side here is that's not the be all and end all for a lot of players. And he showed great loyalty to the club as well. But as I say, moving forward, I think it's only going to bode well. And we will, as a team and a collective, gather momentum. As we comment here for Tafster, he says, "Come back, Ange, I beg of you." I don't know, who do you support, mate? Are you a Celtic fan? Are you a Melbourne fan? Are you a Yokohama fan? Or, that could mean a array of teams at Ange's. You could even be Australian national team fan. So yeah, that's an interesting one to let us know your thoughts there, Tafster. But yeah, Ryan, as I said, I do think that moving forward, I think the club are in sublime hands, and I think it also shows, the next sort of lot of recruitment that there is commitment with the squad as well, and there's obviously a clear path and a clear sort of business plan for Rodgers and the team moving forward. So I think it's pretty clear as well. If you're a new signing, or you're being linked to the club or speaking to the club, and then you see 3 or 4 of the big hitters in the team going, "Hey, he's a new deal. You're going to, for outside, you're going to be like, must be good to you. It must be really good. So these guys are also setting an example for that, right? And I think, like I says, mate, it's all just going to bode very well for us moving forward, mate.
No, I totally agree, mate, what you said there. If your star players or your main players or guys who are been successful and been a part of what's just been going on recently, and they're staying, then not even some of the other guys, even maybe some of the youth guys that maybe think they've gone elsewhere, or a pastor's new, well, he's staying. All right, that's good. So again, it could go down to the, again, I'm not saying it will, but if I was a young guy, and I agree as well, Francis, I think he's definitely going to be here for his career. Like I said to JP, I don't know you feel, Francis, but unless a crazy big thing from the club can reject, then I can't see it happening personally. But listen, I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again, but I think I'd find it very hard for the club to ever be in a situation they need to let him go, or need to accept a bid unless it's ridiculous amount of money. But IJP, I do feel that if I was a young guy, I'd be looking at that going, "Oh, bad, the club's moving forward." And I know I might not get a sniff, but I might want to stay here and learn that for these guys and then maybe move and stuff. So just the way he talks, JP, I don't know Callum personally, so I don't know what his dreams are going forward when he retires, but he just screams out manager material.
He's a great guy. I've met him. I've had the luxury of being in his company. I've known him since he was a kid. I know his dad quite well as well. I've been lucky there.
You can just see that he's, again, I don't know him personally in terms of what he's going to do when he finishes football, but it just strikes to me that he could be a good manager or a coach. Just the way he talks about the game.
Very humble lad, Brian. He doesn't really get too far ahead. He's still fire.
Like he says, the treble's finished now. you strive to get more and more. You played yourself, JP, and I played, and we've won trophies, and it's true. I hated getting beat. Even if I get beat Sunday football or Saturday football, it just ruins your night. And when you win trophies, you celebrate it, and you want to win more next season.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's a drug, but it is addictive. Winning is addictive, and you want to win every game. And when you don't play well, you still win. Well, for me, anyway, as a striker, my team might have won 7-0. But see if I've no scored, I'm annoyed at myself for no scoring. So that's you as an individual. You want to score and play well, and you want to be part of the success. But mate, his interview was brilliant, and I don't know what you feel, right? I don't know what anybody else feels who's watching, or anybody who does watch when it's out to Spotify and stuff. For me, JP, I don't know what you feel, but I feel that he's going to get a bit of a wage rise. And I don't know if this is things to come. I don't know if it's things to come, because again, I don't know by truth, but apparently Brown had something in his contract where if somebody came in with higher wages, that he was to get that as well. Don't quote me. I don't know. I'm just hearing for hearsay. I know we don't do rumours, but it's not a rumour. I've just seen it plastered there on Twitter. It could be right. It could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know if that's McGregor might have in his contract as well. But do you feel, it's my theory? It's just my theory, JP, right? I've seen a lot of guys own it as well. I say to Baz as well, Barry McCann today as well about it, that my theory is that this could be a thing for something to come. I'm not saying we're going to spend mega money and give guys $100,000 a week in wages, but with him getting a higher wage, is it because we're maybe going to sign one or two guys who are going to get a good bit of wage, come in for decent money, to maybe go, right, Callum, you're getting that, so you're still the highest paid player? Because as I say to you, again, I could be totally wrong, but if you're one of the better paid players or the highest paid player, and somebody comes in with really about the same amount of wage, you're going to think, well, I'm the captain, I've been here longer, I should be getting a bit more. I don't know, it could be, I don't know, but do you think this is a sign to come that we could be maybe paying one or two guys who are going to come in a bigger wage, and this is him giving him a wee bonus to go, right, you're still the highest paid player, but we need to give you this so we can give 2 or 3 guys this?
I think, Ryan, you need to reward success. I've said it for a long, long time. See just now, Ryan, the way the team have been, the way it's been modernly run and the way things are happening, this should have been happening 15 years ago.
Right, Michael. Cheers, mate.
This should have been happening 15 years ago. It should have happened when Lennon was there the first time, I would say. You know, the way this was. Because I reckon, see, even guys like Wanyama, Hooper, you know, I reckon, see if he bettered some of these guys in terms of what they were earning. And it wasn't a lot of money. See if he just gave these boys a bit more, you know, a bit more
incentives,
lucrativeness in their lives. I don't think they would have been in a hurry to go I mean, Gary Hooper would never have left Celtic to go to Norwich, Ryan, unless he was going to be guaranteed mega money. Right, because it's not in my opinion, mate, it's not a step up in a career. Craig Bellamy said he was further in his career with Blackburn because again we were humming and hawing about deals and you know this was happening, that was happening. For me, mate, it's important to reward success when these guys have sweated blood for over 2 years. You know, boys like Kyogo, Maeda, have gave their all, Ryan. They've won 5 trophies out of 6. They've came in with a brand new manager. They're going to now have to do it all over again with a brand new manager who never brought them to the club.
Yep.
So, but they've no went. You know what the media would have believed you. Had you believing? Sorry, should I say? After Ange left for Tottenham, the media had about at least 8 of our players all sold, gone. Matt O'Reilly's gone there. Hatate's gone there. Hatate's gone to Brighton. Oh no, he's no. He might be going to there. No, Jota was going to Saudi Arabia. Then Hatate was going to Saudi Arabia. Kyogo will go to Tottenham with Ange. Oh no, he won't, because Harry Kane might stay.
Aye, but it was got to Crystal Palace, remember, as well, Kyle.
See the media, it's all eeny, meeny, miny, mo stuff for them, man. It's just because Ange brought these guys to the club, they think, you know, like I says to Barry on Friday when I was on him, I says, the Japanese lads have got a different working ethic, they've got a different sort of mentality when it comes to stuff now. They're a bit more loyal and they take a bit more pride in what they do in terms of just say your average Scottish boy, right? I said to Baz, no, I can guarantee you one thing, right? Stephen Welsh and Kobayashi are both in a similar boat that they don't play a lot for Celtic at the moment. Right? They hardly got a game last season. But I know Kobayashi will only come in January, like, fair enough, okay. But the difference between the two of them is, I can guarantee you right now that Kobayashi works harder than Stephen Welsh. Why? Because he comes from a culture that's built on hard work. It's built on dedication. It's built on never say die attitude. Always want to strive to be the best. Always trying to improve all the time. Whereas your young Scottish lad is probably a bit more laid back, a bit more, you know, I don't need to train today, I'll do it in the morning, I'll come in, do an extra hour. That's the way we automatically go to and your brain thinks. I don't know a guy that hasn't done that in the past, right? A British guy, a Scottish guy. But see, the foreign mentality is totally different, mate. Even their eating habits, even the way they eat, the way they train, the way they look after themselves. That's how Lee Johnson, when he done the interview about the Japanese boys in our team, was telling his boys to go and try and get a meet with them. Go and sit with them, go and get in their head, go and see what it is they need. Because that's why he done that.
But he was right. He was
he's spot on. And what I'm saying is also spot on in terms of, I can guarantee you right now, see if you go and you spend a day or even 2 days on a training field, like, just say Stephen Welsh and Mikey Johnson went to train with Kyogo and Kobayashi at Visa Kobe. Mate, they would be like, what the hell is this? These lads don't get in, they don't stop, they don't, that's why Ange brought these guys to the team, right? Because they've automatically got that mindset, they've automatically got that we never stop attitude.
Yep.
That was why he signed so many of them. Because that, regardless of their actual natural ability, their work ethic alone sets them aside for anybody else.
You've just got to look at foreigners. Most of them all play to their 40s.
Look at Nakamura. Look at the stories you've heard of Nakamura in terms of Paul Caddis. And I mean, Paul Caddis was like that on that podcast under the Causeway when he was chatting to the boys. He was saying to them, look, lads, Nakamura, we used to slag him, we used to go, well, what are you doing as a flow? But that was the typical Scottish mentality, as they say in football. What he didn't realise is Naka was better than himself all the time. So he would go and do his training with the team. He would then take a ball and spend an hour and 40 minutes with a ball, practising free kicks, his set pieces, his this, his that. Then he would finish, he would go and get a towel, wipe himself down, and then he would go up the stair and hit the weights.
I done stretches now, didn't he?
Stretched for 50 minutes.
Just mindset. It's mindset.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's a total difference, and that's not just Nakamura. That's just an example of what I know. So it's these guys are pretty much the same. See, to be able to run like Maeda, Ryan, that's not something, mate, you can just wake up one morning and you've got.
No.
You've got to then develop that over time to be able to run and chase, and because the way Maeda chases and presses is shuttles he does. I've never seen a guy being able to squeeze a player and then go for there and squeeze another player at the same speed the way I have Maeda. I've never seen anybody else being able to do it, mate. I really haven't. And I think it's astonishing. But why is that the case? because of the training and the work rate and everything else and the way they look after themselves.
Right.
So, but in terms of the new contracts, it's only natural that you give these guys better deals. You know, they might only have been on, I don't know, just say 7-8 grand a week. They're now going to be into double figures now with their new deals. But they've earned that, right? They've been successful. Kyogo's scored a barrel of goals for us in 2 seasons.
Yep.
I mean, all right, people are saying, you know, he's not done it in the Champions League. Fair enough, but he's only played 1 season in the Champions League. He only played 6 games in the Champions League. But he signed for another 4 years. Do you think Kyogo is going to continue not to do anything in the Champions League if Celtic are going to be in the Champions League season after season after season? Because I don't. It's only natural he's going to get better at it.
I just think for me, I think you're spot on, mate, in terms of the mindset. And listen, I'm the same, mate. It's even daily tasks. Like in the house, I'll do the washing later. I'll do the washing tomorrow. It's wee things like that, mate. It's even talking about myself. It's even me sometimes. Obviously, I'm not playing football now, mate, right? But I was for me when I played, I was always a hard trainer. I was always training, turned up, done my best, and I used to annoy me when guys didn't try. No try, but didn't put the effort on. You can have all the ability, but see if you don't keep up your discipline, your fitness, your drive, determination. If you don't do it training, then good chance you go to in the trenches in a game where you're maybe nothing each or 1-0 down, you need to fight and battle for your teammates. It all stems for all week at training. It all stems for that. So
it's like me on here with you guys. I set the tone on even when I'm not well. It's not about you need to set standards, like.
Well, set standards, you were late tonight. What's that all about?
You need to set standards. But I was late tonight. You knew I was going to be late tonight.
I know why you were late.
You already knew why.
I know why you were late because you looked at my coat, you borrowed it, and it's a wrong time.
There you go. See,
there's always.
I can't believe you wrapped that up before you said it. I really don't. You'd have cheeked to do that and put a battery in it for me.
Mate, well, sometimes you need to fence yourself these days, you know what I mean?
The comment there for Leo's joining us, he says, alright lads, how's things? No Celtic tops tonight? Nah, Leo, to be fair, mate, I've had a bit of a special day today, mate. It's my wee boy's 5th birthday today, mate, so I wasn't wearing a Celtic top today, buddy. I've had a bit of a busy day with my wee boy, so that's my excuse. I don't know about our Andy Gray here, I don't know. He must have had time because he's certainly not been busy shaving or anything like that, so he certainly must have had the time to dig one out.
Well, so you see, I'm a bit tan, so I was don't want to get my fake tan dirty, mate, know what I mean? So, as you know, Leo, I did
I take it you've got the heating on because it seems to be running.
Mate, it's always warm on this side of the city, you know what I mean? As Leo knows, Leo at 10:30, that's why the fake tan's on, mate, you know what I mean? That's when the show starts at 10:30, so, but no, for me, JP, you've got to the word success.
Skinny jeans you've got, aye?
I think you do it at 10:30, mate, you know, I'll let you know. But for me, I think it's a massive thing, JP. You need to reward players, because if you don't reward them, then sometimes they will look at pastures new. In terms of, for me, JP, you know what? Anybody who knows me knows how much I loved Hooper. I thought he was outstanding. He was a fantastic finisher. In the box, he was lethal, and outside the box as well. He linked up the play well, and he was always a good target in the box as well. And
well, we're on Hooper. What's the best goal you've seen him score in a Celtic jersey?
The best goal, it's going to be one that the best one. I may get a bit of stick for it because we get beat in the game, but it was I'm sure we get beat 4-2 after Rangers. It was him and El Kaduri that scored. The one Scott Brown done the wee past him. Mate, that's unbelievable.
You've mentioned El Kaduri, man. Look at the viewers. I've all disappeared, man.
I don't know if anybody can remember that game, but actually go and watch that goal back, because I can remember watching it and I think, it's by the post. And I seen it rip on the net and I'm celebrating, mate. That is one of the best finishes I've ever seen. It was phenomenal, JP, the way he curved it in. And I think it helped with the way Scott Brown done the wee no-look pass, and then it was. But I'm talking about maybe for me, JP, I'd maybe say that because I thought that was phenomenal. Just in terms of how he finished the ball. It was just the finishing and his movement and the way the partner they play went. I thought that goal was phenomenal.
I thought his goal at Celtic Park against Spartak Moscow was a belter and all outside
the volley. The volley. Phenomenal.
My goodness.
Phenomenal. But guys like that, JP, probably if you give him a bit more money as well, but I think sometimes like the Premier League, it is a lure, the Premier League, it is a lure.
I told Ryan that, Jerry, he's going to be greeting me.
You got his number, Jerry? Gary? No, but for me, I just think...
Yeah, wait to hear how high pitched... You think Maeda was high pitched? Wait to hear how high pitched he goes for hooker.
No, but...
I thought I was out with one of the Bee Gees that night, by the way, about that high.
No, but you've got to reward success, JP, because if you don't reward success, then it will eventually, guys will go to pastures new. But for me, it shows you the intent as well for the board, that the board, well, I don't really feel JP in the middle, she's listening, but the way the club are doing this at the moment is very wise, it's streetwise, it's modern, and it's just wise, because I think what they're doing is they're using the money for Jota. They're using that to obviously help deals, give new players contracts. But then the money they've banked already, that's staying. So the money that was banked for the transfers, they're not using that yet. No touched it. But the money for Jota is, what was it? Again, it could be 19, it could be 20. We don't, or 25. We don't know the full amount yet. As we'll probably know as we go along in terms of when they look at accounts and stuff like that, maybe going forward. But the club have already come out and said that they've took in more money than they thought they had. They've put that out already.
No, did they not put something out to the London Stock Exchange and said that?
But they think they're going to get more in.
They're also going to have to pay out. They're going to be paying out more than they also expected.
So I think basically what they're saying is, I think all in they're going to be, there's two can and two. I think basically that the calculations about the thought money wise, it's not going to be what they thought. So I don't know what you feel, JP, but I feel that what they're doing is very wise, because I think they're using some of the Jota money to give new people deals or maybe new bumper pays. But what they're not doing is the money that we've earned and Rodgers is meant to be getting to spend, it's still sitting there. And what I'm really looking forward to and what I'm really getting myself hyped up about the new is the fact that we've gave free Kyogo, Maeda and your Callum good contracts. You've gave them good deals, and you've still got guys to come in through the money that you've still to spend. You've signed home. You've signed Marco Tilio. You've gave guys new contracts.
Yeah.
You've still got maybe 20 million sitting there for Jota. You've got apparently 30, 35 million sitting there. You've still to lift a penny yet. So I know people want, me myself, we want these big signings, we want this. But just think about where we're now. Think about the bigger picture. We've still to lift a penny yet to transfer one day, and we're sitting quite comfy. And there, on the other side of the city, they're needing to now sell to help them rebuild, and we haven't even touched our pocket yet. So Celtic fans, just take a wee back seat now and just look at the bigger picture of what's happening. There will be signings. There will be. I'm not saying a marquee signing. It's what I'd like. But you will see some money getting spent. If that's 3 million or 3 million or 4 million, I think you will see money get spent, JP. But what I'm trying to say is here, it will get spent wisely, and it's not getting spent off of money that's not getting touched already.
Aye, 100%. I think, personally, mate, I think that, what we're seeing now, we're getting a lot of anticipation. I think Michael the boy makes a great point there. I was just about to allude on that there. Brennan's still assessing the squad right now.
Yep, spot on.
I think personally what's interesting is the fact that he's, there was an approach severely for him and it was refused. And he's took Liam Scales away with him to Portugal. Mm-hmm. So he's obviously seriously wanting, because if that boy was totally shunned altogether, in my opinion, mate, I think he'd have been shipped to Aberdeen when they tried to take him.
Well, see, I've not seen. I know he was away, but I've not seen guys like Sorrow or yet. I've not seen in the name back yet.
I know he's away, and I've not seen guys like that myself, Ryan.
I've not seen the footage yet.
I've seen Mikey Johnson. I've seen all back in Celtic gear, like the trackie and stuff. So if these guys were totally out the window, as a lot of Celtic fans did claim,
they wouldn't be.
I think Rodgers they wouldn't even have went to, Portugal, and they aren't coming home either. So they're going straight for Portugal to Japan. They'll know, but there's no a period of time where they'll come back to Glasgow and then go to Japan. It's straight from Portugal to Japan. I think they're away for about 18 nights all in. The way it's you look a bit worried there, mate. Is that your camera crew coming on to set up for you for a half day?
No, it's just the rain, mate. The rain's batting down.
Oh, right, okay. Just you looked a bit worried there. I thought maybe somebody was.
What? Put the cheese away, you idiot!
Take the wellies out of the case.
Oh, they're in for this haul. I know it's big, innit?
Michael the boy makes a good point there, like in personally, because that's what I had in my head there, to be honest. He reckons that Scales will take Welsh's place in the squad, as he sees Welsh leaving. I would probably say that's fair, because again, Stephen's probably in a position in his career at the moment that he would, he probably wants to play first team football.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. I don't think he's a development type player anymore. He can't play for under 21s at Scotland level anymore. He was your captain. Now he's had to move out of that team because of his age. So he is getting to that sort of age now where he'd be looking for first team football. I do think it's interesting that Big Scales he's went to that sort of camp, because if there wasn't sort of any sort of and the feedback they must have got from Aberdeen, and obviously then watching him in terms of his performance levels and stuff, it must have been quite positive, right? Otherwise, in my opinion, mate, I don't think he would have been on that flight. I really don't. And in the Celtic clubber, a couple of other boys that not seen any pictures here, any footage of, is your big pal, big o Zazie, you're a goodie, and big Liam Shaw. Not seen any of the, any of them. So I don't know if maybe their loan deals were a bit more, extended. I can't remember what the loan deals are sitting at. And as I say, mate, I think it's only natural that we need to sort of be patient, because like Michael the boy says, he is looking at the squad. He'll want to look. I know he's probably, listen, Brendan, Michael, to be fair, Brendan knows that squad inside out, right? He's probably just want to see it up close and personal, in terms of, to be 100% sure. And he will have had a lot of input from John Kennedy, Gavin Strachan, Harry Kewell, etc., and a lot of the boys as well. So his recruitment team would have probably filled him in quite a lot of it as well. But Brendan being Brendan, this is how thorough this man is. He wants to have a look at these guys up close. He wants to see what they're like before he makes up his mind. And I reckon a test for some of these boys will be if they go over to Japan and they get to play against Yokohama Mariners, who are a very well-known team from Japan. Maybe not so much Gamba Osaka. They're a bit more of I would say, a St Mirren to a St Johnson type team at that league. But again, the league does have some great technical players, and it wouldn't surprise me if Celtic ended up coming home with a bag for life for a few a minute, because that just seems to be how our recruitment team are doing business. But no, as I said, Brian, I know obviously we'll be moving on, mate, and I know you're obviously, before we finish up, mate, you'll want to mention in terms of crowds and fixtures and
I'll quickly
crowds,
for 2 wee seconds. I totally get what you said there about skills and that, mate. If they, let's be fair, Brendan Rodgers has got to assess the squad in terms of who he thinks is going to be good enough to maybe go through pre-season and what he's want to do.
Yeah.
We all know he's been to a few games before the end of the season, so he kind of roughly knows the squad now. But the guys who have been away, he might want to see them as well. So I totally agree with you there, mate. But in terms of I've seen the day apparently Hearts are going to slash the Celtic Rangers tickets. This isn't just on Hearts. This is just in general. I put it on Twitter because I want other people. Cheers, Francis. I know, mate. I can't wait as well. My wee Jimmy Calder would be cheers. I'm really can't wait. 10:30 tonight. See you, big boy. Anyway, I thought it was good night. I thought we were going to get a wee nap before you see me later, Francis. But no, for me, JP, I don't know what anybody else thinks in the crowd. And
I think you'll be doing more banners sooner than you think, Francis, to be honest with you.
I've seen that Hearts are apparently slashing to, I think, 650 or something, JP. Celtic and Rangers in the crowd. I know Kilmarnock. I know Kilmarnock are down to Manston now. St Mirren try to do it. Ross County try to do it. When it's advised for, this is what I'm saying. This is what I put. I don't know what you feel.
Have they actually come out and verified a reason as to why they're doing it? Now we know. Obviously, we know. I know why the other side.
I know St Mirren. I'm sure St Mirren were going to either pay for the tickets or Ross County were going to pay for tickets to try and again. Listen, I put it on Twitter today because I want other clubs to come and tell me why do you do it, because we're not that side of the fence, right? So we don't see it. So my point of view is, right, I'm a Celtic fan, right? But see if I'm a Livingston fan or a St Mirren fan or whatever, right, I totally get you're going there, or even Hibs, Hearts, whatever. You're going there to see your heroes, right? You might be taking your wee boy or your wee girl or your family member with you, right?
Ryan, sorry to interrupt you, mate. I'm really sorry to do this to you. I've just seen a comment. Lindsay Greenwood is joining us tonight. She says, hail, evening, boys and girls.
Oh, hi, Lindsay.
Lindsay, can you please get in contact with us?
No, she wrote on the studio. I got back to her. I don't know if she's get back to it yet.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise. I've not seen that message.
I'll show you it once, but one to Raf.
That's fine. Sorry, Lindsay. I was just about to dig you up there, but I didn't realise it. I've had a busy weekend and a busy day today, so I've not had an opportunity.
I just feel, JP, that again, right, sorry, back to saying there. So I'm a Celtic fan, right, I get that, right? But see if you're see if you're any other body apart from Rangers and Celtic, maybe even Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, whatever, right? See if guys like your Kyogos, McGregors, Vickers, even Rangers, right? I know we don't, but even listen, I know we don't want to talk about, but they're still good players. They play with Rangers, right? So even like, just say I don't know, like your Golsons or Morelos when he was scoring goals or whatever, right? You should be. You pay your money to go and see your heroes. The Saturday buzz to go to your team, take your son or daughter or whatever to the game, and it's all about the football and buying a programme or doing this, right?
Yeah.
It's a buzz of going to see your team play football, your heroes, right? I know some of the teams are no chasing titles, but still going to see your team play week in, week out. For me, it shouldn't matter what the result is. You're going for that Saturday buzz to see your team play, to see your heroes play, right? Twice or three times a season, roughly. You're seeing guys like Kyogo, McGregor, Carter Vickers, Johnston, Hatates. Why should you not be paying your... Well, I'm not saying you should be paying your money, but for me, why would you not go watch see that? See the guys turn up. You might get beat 3 or 4-0, but you're coming up... I'm saying this as an educational purpose. You're going to see guys who are 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 levels above what you're seeing every week.
Yeah.
It should be a thing. Mum will go see Hatati play today. Mum will see Kyogo play today. We'll see how good this guy is. I would want to go see our heroes, like maybe at Hibs at Kevin Nisbet, Shackman at Hearts, or maybe the boy Bacchus when he was at St Mirren, etc. I get that, right? He might still be there, but he's room to go.
Oh, he's already went. Right.
So this is what I'm trying to put across. But why are clubs take away people that can go and watch the game? If it's away fans, right? We'll fill Celtic Rangers will fill the away stand every single match, right? They're taking fans away and they're losing money. Hearts don't sell no club in Scotland apart from Celtic and Rangers sells out their stadium every single week. They might do it the odd time. They might get an Hearts average attendance might be close to the full attendance, but it's no sold out. That's what same as Celtic, we base our crowds on the season books. Sometimes it does say Celtic Park for 60,000. We all know, JP, there's only 52,000. We know that. But 9 times out of 10, the last 2 years, we have sold out our stadium, no fact, 2 years. Take away the Dialect era, but we sold out just about every week, right? Yeah. But what I'm trying to put across this here is, why would you take tickets away for fans that are going to go to the game and fans that are going to give you a financial benefit? It might only be a few thousand, but it's giving you a club and it looks better on the eye. You've got a full stadium full of fans. Hibs are playing teams last year. Hearts, Aberdeen, empty seats. Live on Sky Sports, live on BT, whatever it is, on Premier Sports Cup games. Empty seats. But yeah, they're taking away allocations for us to go to the games. We can't go to away games because you're not on. Some guys can't go to away games because they're not supporters buses. And then they're cutting them back even more. I don't get it why they're cutting allocations when it's not going to suit anything. It's not giving you an advantage, and it's not giving us an advantage with no adding the crowds, because it doesn't matter who is at Celtic Park or who's in away, because we're still the better team. It doesn't matter if you've got 18,000 and you've got 2,000, or you've got the full crowd and we have no. It's still Celtic is starting to play. It's still Rangers coming to play against you. So, and the thing as well, JP, these clubs need to do more. We spoke, JP, we could probably speak this for 3 hours on a podcast. They need to have incentives for kids and adults or whatever to go to the games. Yep. See if it's 20 quid a ticket, right, to see Celtic and Hibs. I don't know what it is, right? Say I'll be for home tie, 20 quid, right?
28 quid.
Right. There you go, right? Then you go, oh, that's a bit dear, right? But see if they say to like the guy or female, listen, bring your son or daughter, they'll get a free juice or a free pie and a free programme when you come in. It might be nothing, but it's an incentive for it to go. Aye, Michael, you're right, because I'm on a rant here because I think it needs put across. No, I'm being serious, but JP, it needs put across because people don't talk about this enough, because there's no incentive for sometimes young kids.
I'm actually not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Lindsay's comment.
I seen that. Aye.
She said I was on in the changing room singing Hail Hail.
Aye. I should put on the comment.
To be fair, it's not the first time I've been in these types of changing rooms. But I got into trouble for that the first time.
But I'll let you come back in. I know I don't like to keep you too long, JP, but there's got to be some incentives for people.
Don't buckle to the pressure, Ryan. Don't let these people let you buckle. There's got to be some incentives. If they're not selling their tickets in the home end, then there should be incentives for them to then go and get the tickets. If it's getting homeless people tickets, if it's getting kids tickets, if it's getting people that are on waiting lists tickets, there's got to be more incentives for guys to go to the games. I know it might be raining, but I know it might sound silly, JP, but if you get a free programme, a free pie or whatever, you might actually go. You might, instead you watch on the TV. I don't know, but there's got to be more incentives. And one thing I want to put across, I know you agree, and you'll probably come back to the same. We don't advertise the game enough. See Celtic and Hibs, right? That should not need advertised, right? But if there's a few thousand tickets spare, then obviously it's not advertised enough. It's not put out there enough. There's no incentives. There's no advertising. Go. Like I've said to you, Celtic versus just say Hibs. Just say Hibs. Listen, this is not a dig at Hibs. This is I'm just making a team for a scenario, right? Celtic and Hibs, right? It should be in just about every billboard near Easter Road. It should be a billboard near a pub, the billboard near the training ground. It should be all around about the local area, just to remind you, Celtic playing Hibs this weekend, Batley Johnson's high bees or something. But we don't get that. It's on the radio. It's nowhere. And I just think we're letting our game down, JP. I agree with you. No, you know my thoughts on it. That our views on it are very, very similar. I really agree with the fact that the game.
Also, they moan about being skint, but they'll give you tickets.
No, and by the way, they're the first to shout about when they get to cup finals or semi-finals. We want 50-50 splits, but yet they can't find. We want we want 50-50 splits. But yeah, and then do an Inverness and go, do you know what, we're going to need to hand back like 8,000 tickets.
Crazy.
We can't fill it. Because if they did fill it, then the whole Inverness would be shut down. But no, as I said, to me, it's just mental. You know, it was. I don't know if it's because there's people out there. Tam McManus is one of them, and Tam reckons it's unhealthy. What's happening just now with Celtic, in terms of Celtic winning everything, it's unhealthy for Scottish football. No, it's unhealthy for Tam because Tam's team can't get near us. It's very unhealthy for them. It's no unhealthy when Celtic aren't doing too well, or when we're maybe not our best and we've had maybe an half season, or we've been knocked out of one of the cups. So it's no unhealthy then, but it's only unhealthy when we win a trophy or when we are successful. To be fair, I don't know if it's because of the way our travelling support is, in terms of we just party everywhere we go, and maybe these clubs and their fans are sick of the sighties or sick of watching it, and they're sick of, putting it, being loud, bringing a big crowd. Who doesn't want that? And they must be absolutely nuts if they don't want to see a wee bit of, backing for a team, a wee bit of following. You go to these stadiums and all you hear is the Celtic fans singing. Now, whether there's only 5 or 10 of them, they would out sing the home team, because it's like you would hear a penny drop in some of these grounds, right? And again, some really great clubs. Some clubs are family run, family based, generations of families going to watch these teams, and some really, like I say, some really good clubs, some right good stadiums. Tynecastle's a very, very good place to go, and it's a very hard place for a Celtic team to go as well, and it's always been renowned for its atmosphere. And even Brendan Rodgers, his Liverpool team came up to play him, and that's what Brendan says. Even then, it's a great stadium, and as I said, it's just mental when these clubs take these steps and take these decisions to cut our allocation. Why? We've got a fanatical fan base that will pay money to come to that ground and follow our team. Why would you want to stop people going to watch their team? Is it because is it down to jealousy? Is it, put it this way, in my opinion, it's down to jealousy or it's down to sheer stupidity. Because it doesn't make sense business-like for the club.
What I don't buy as well is people say that there's many advantage us having 3,000 fans or 50 fans. Like I said to you there, no, it's no, because it's still Celtic's playing. It's still the same team. It's still the same team. It's on the park. It doesn't matter.
And like he says as well, if you've got kids and they're playing football in the street, don't tell me these boys, these kids will no be, first of all, want to go and watch St Mirren on a Saturday. Some of these wee guys are like, I'm Kyogo, I'm this, I'm that, I'm Jota, I'm Abada, and they'll rhyme off good players. The only reason why I selected the Celtic team there was because of how successful Celtic have been the last couple of seasons. You would need to bath your nut if he says what, and I don't mean to be rotten. You would need to bath your nut if he turned around and says, I want to be Bobby Boucher. Or I want to, you take him into the GP, you'd be like, here, Mum, there's something up, we need to get you.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant, Lindsay, brilliant. No, it's Forest. That's brilliant.
Aye, so like I said, you would take him into the GP, you'd be like, what are you saying that for? I want to be him. Or you would be like, right, stop that now. Stop kidding on. Be real. Go and tell me who you really want to be. Because let's face it, nobody wants to be Connor Goldson or Bendy Davo. Seriously. Because if you do, you're following Hadji Haggis, man.
Too many sausage molds.
Too many sausage molds. Too many sash browns. Too much of that pork-sized steak at your granddad's house on a Sunday.
Too much peppercorn sauce and taffy these days, man.
Aye. Too much of the Alfredo buffalo chicken wings you keep eating.
Aye. And the Butland rolls.
Aye, Butland rolls, aye. Aye.
That's a new one.
Big plate of cheesy Raskins.
Cheesy Raskins and Butland rolls.
Aye. These two Butland rolls and bacon, innit?
Aye.
A cup of tea.
Aye. And bear in mind, please, no gap between meals.
A packet of spearmint chewing gum from Alsatian.
Aye.
She's like that. But, no, and James, look, there you go. I agree, JP, stupidity is a big part to play. The fact they're as thick as mince.
Exactly,
it's a business sense all in. If you're trying to run a business, right, and you know one of the biggest titles, if it's a football club, right, and you're trying to run it, and you know one of the biggest titles, Celtic, the champions of the country, probably right now the biggest team in the country, are coming to town, their fans are coming, you want to get as many of them in as possible. All right, okay, you've got to take an average attendance from your own stadium. I get that, right? But then you've got to be honest with your own fans and say, hold on a wee minute, you can't come to most of your games, so no, what? We'll give up that allocation just now because there you go. Because
the only club,
it's not all of a sudden going to draw him out of bed or out of pit.
The only club
to come and watch the games.
The only club that I'll say it doesn't really concern in terms of would be Livingston, because Livingston have got a very small support. They've only got, I think, 1,000 season ticket holders, and they do everything that means, and they never don't give you tickets. They're always giving you the free stones or 2.5, whatever it is, free stones, and they'll happily take that extra income.
Everybody knows who their manager supports, right?
Aye.
There you go. See,
and he's still giving you the free stands.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how would Tino jump on the same gravy train as the rest of them?
Like you said there, right? What you're saying, Spawn, because see, if Livingston wanted an advantage, they would say, again, I don't know the ins and outs of JP, how many tickets you do need to get, right? I don't know how it works, if you need to give them, what's the lowest you can give anything, right? What's the lowest allocation? But what if Livingston went to Celtic? We're only giving you 1,000 fans. Even though, so they're relying to, we want to gain some advantage.
We've got 1,000 fans, we've got 60,000.
But that's what I'm saying. Say Livingston only get 1,000 fans at every game, right? And so Livingston just says, you know what? We actually fancy our chances. Maybe in a few weeks time against you, for some reason we want to cut to 1,000. There'd be absolute outcry. But they won't do it because they're getting 8,000 or 9,000, whatever it is, in the bank for that game.
I mean, there's guys older than my dad still fully Celtic. Not that, by the way, not that for him that it's watched, not that my dad's dead ancient. He's still a young man in terms of age-wise, but there's guys older than him still fully Celtic all over the place. And they're now can't go to most away games because the tickets are now balloted and the tickets are now selected to mainly supporters. But there's a category now, especially with us as well, in terms of Celtic, you've got to have went to have, again, an average of so many games through a period of time.
But even that, right, like you're saying, supporters buses now are Hawthorn even going to go out because they're cutting back.
A lot of them can't get drivers, a lot of them can't, a lot of their, like the buses and stuff, just aren't willing to do it. But like I say, at Mob across the water, they started all this, and now they'll take umbrage when Celtic, because Celtic have not gave them their decision yet in terms of their 700 tickets.
And we all know why.
I know what's going to happen. I know that Michael Nicholson was a man that well at him there the last games, all or none, and they went right. Then Celtic went right. If you want to continue this, then there'll be nothing. Simple as that. And it'll be the same again, right? I think he will come forward with Chris Mackay, the finance director, and they'll have a meeting and they'll say, right, look, why are we doing this? What's the reason you're doing this? Because even your Onion Bears can't, they can't fill that stone. You know, they're already sharing dark hoodies so that they cover one another. They can't get any more under the jumper. Unless, I don't know, unless maybe Alfredo's left him a couple of spare training jumpers there, he'll be able to, I'm sure a couple of them will be able to get under there. But saying again, mate, if you don't stop eating Griggs's steak bakes, then you're gonna be needing more than a couple of jumpers to hold you down. But to be fair, mate, I think it's just crazy all round. I really, really do. And I don't see any sense in it whatsoever. But in terms of the promotion of the league, no. There's not enough promotion in terms of, you know, we don't big our game up enough, in my opinion. And I'm a big fan of Scottish football. I try and take in quite a few games in Scottish football, Championship football. I've even started watching League One. And obviously through being friends now with Baza and stuff like that, I've taken a lot more football over the last maybe 12, 13 months than I have all my life probably now. But again, it opens your eyes to different standards, different, you know, there's a lot of good players, and you know that yourself. I've been to games with Ryan, you know, there's a lot of good players out there. So again, our game just isn't promoted enough. I think, but what I find commendable, personally, don't know what happened there, mate. You turned into a disco ball, you flashed, then disappeared, and then you came back on. So
that's my reminder for the 10:30 show.
Right, I was going to say that. I was that your alarm kicking in there, aye?
Francis, I'll be you soon.
I've been on too long. But no, I think Open Goal have done well in terms of promoting the Lowland League. And the documentary that they've done. If MD's had a chance to watch it, I suggest you go and watch it, because it gives you a brilliant insight to how things are even run at that level. And that level's nowhere near the way Celtic are run, or any teams in the Scottish Premier League are run. So I think it's a brilliant insight as to how that game, you know, the way the game is even there, and the standards that were set at that level. It just goes to show you. But again, tickets weren't a worry down there. You know, the promotion was all there by Open Goal. They do a lot themselves, but if every club took responsibility like that, we wouldn't be talking about this anyway.
No.
They're promoted a wee bit themselves. And so if you're doing an event, mate, and you and your two mates, just say you and your three mates do an event, if you all sell 30 tickets each for your event, mate, you're winning, you're flying. What a night that would be.
Aye.
Because you've got a decent wee crowd, you know. But
aye, sorry JP, Michael, about you're spot on, mate. Barry Hearn came up here and he'd done a few presentations, and he tried to see how we were doing with our game, and he says, listen, he's not promoting that enough. It's nowhere near the standard, because obviously I think he was in snooker, obviously the Hearn's in darts, and he knows how to promote stuff, and him and Eddie obviously minted now and doing very well in their careers, and it's not, Michael, you're spot on, that was true, yeah.
It's too bad they didn't make a fist at it and actually just get you selling about it, wasn't it?
Boom, that was a knockout, wasn't
it? But no, as I say, we don't promote it enough, and I think we'll do our best on here moving forward, I think, to promote especially some of the football in terms of what's coming up and stuff. But obviously the majority of the time we cover Celtic, and I think we promote them enough. Not that they need promoted right enough, but I do think we do our best to try and promote. But no, you're right, mate. Scottish Premier League is nowhere near promoted enough in the way it should be. And if you only listen to the mainstream media up here, that would probably be enough to put you off for a lifetime, the way they rabbit on. Because they can't even look at football objectively up here. They don't seem to be able to hold a valid opinion and make it believable. Because some of them, the way they talk, I don't even think they believe it themselves. I think they just say what comes up in their heads.
It's just full agendas, mate, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Francis, totally, mate. No, listen, I would exactly. That's exactly what we said in our group chats and stuff, mate, as well. So I totally agree with you. But I've still not got that button organised, but that's us at the end of a beautiful show. And it's been a quick hour and 17 minutes, or nearly 18 minutes now, but like I said earlier on, time flies when you're having fun. And we've had quite a bit of, well, I've had a great day today all round. But again, guys, anybody that's tuned in with us, I thank you really for coming on a Monday night with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Especially when, everybody's trying to get set up again for the next week and work-wise and things that you've maybe got coming up and stuff. I really thank you for taking the time to come on and listen to two guys waffle on for the last nearly 20 minutes, talking about double denims and half 10 shows and stuff like that. And by the way, what I will say, talking about Scottish football is not promoted enough. Anybody at all that's interested and kind of flabbergasted or wondering what the hell we're chatting about, it's this year. It's Ryan's actually going to get us on his next batch of t-shirts, I think. Him and Big Jace, I think the two of them are going to be the next, the next up and coming Levi advert. They two will be like the Bars Eye and Brew advert. Remember the guys wanting to line and he's doing that with the French. The French all starts bending and all that. That'll be used to. Except up with a can of cream soda the two yous are drinking. He's about walking along like that. Double denim, that one. You with your thing, me. Your Jota wig on and Big Jace with his perm.
Yeah, Barry, I think that would look alright, wouldn't it? I think it would.
Aye, no, definitely. Jerry, the quiz is always on a Friday, mate. When we do the quiz, it's usually a Friday night we do it, mate. These boys struggle with that, mate, let alone try to do it every time we're on, Jerry. So
Jerry, I struggle with life, mate, daily. So a quiz is just that's a bit.
That's how he's get me. That's how he's get me. But no, but to be fair with you, Jerry, we do that on a Friday, buddy. Aye, Francis, he's definitely the two of them are getting theirs next week done together. It's a his and hers, but except as a his and his. If that makes sense. But no, as I said, totally privileged to be back on again, me mate, having a chat. And here's hoping by Wednesday. We're back on Wednesday, folks, 8:30. And here's hoping by then Celtic have gave us something else to chat about, because there's never a dull moment when it comes to the hoops.
No, never.
And there's always something to chat about. If not, we're the type of guys that will just, we'll just chat about it at all. We
just make up something, mate.
We just make it up, aye. Even if it's not true, we'll see it. But anybody else looking to get more involved, just keep Ryan a wee chat. After this finishes, and he'll let you know how to get on to his 10:30 thing. It's not for me, it's not my cup of tea. I don't really bother with stuff like that. What I've done for everybody, Ryan, in case anybody does want to reach out to you, mate, is I've stuck up our Twitter handles. If anybody at all away from football is, maybe no feeling great about yourself, maybe no feeling the best, and maybe you've had a really crap day, that specific day, and you want to have a chat with just a complete total stranger who you might not feel judged by, or going to look at that as if people people are going to judge me here. I don't know how to tell them this, whatever, just feeling rubbish. Maybe your mental health's not in a great place at that time, guys.
Yep.
Listen, don't sick yourself. Do not sick yourself. Do not, because it's not worth it. I've been there myself. You think you're nobody to talk to, and then all of a sudden, you take that step, and you feel like you've lost about 6 stone.
Yep.
It's been a long time. Valo's 6 stone, mate, so it's been a while for I know that feeling, to be honest with you, mate. But no, you do. You feel as if the weight of the world's come off your shoulders. And listen, even if you don't want to chat with us, we know a guy who obviously works in that profession, and we can certainly pass you on to him. So again, it's probably best not to, sit and just stay nothing about it. Just listen, even if you want to have a chat about football, even if you want to, if you're here, even if you want to have a maybe something's coming up you're looking forward to, or, get in touch. Because again, what you see on here is what you get with us in real life as well. We don't change for anything at all. On that note of things that are coming up, for anyone who doesn't know, this podcast is having a fundraising night on Friday the 28th of July, folks. That's Friday the 28th of July. It's in bar 1888. For anyone who maybe doesn't know that bar, it's the old Turnstiles bar. It's located on the London Road in Glasgow. It's £2 a ticket each. For that, you are getting a live podcast, some entertainment, a DJ, who will be obviously Mr. Alec Beveridge, raffles, and some really good prizes as well on the night, guys. So again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us either, because if you do, we can get some tickets sorted for you if you're interested in coming along. So again, please reach out for that, because it'll be an absolutely great night, and it'll also be a chance for us to meet yous in person. Because again, on here, we only get to see maybe a name or a photo. We don't really see who's chatting with us in the comments. So again, guys, there is people from the chat coming to the event already, but we'd like some more of you as well. And again, guys, anybody that's joined in and maybe not commented at all, but you are watching, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button for us. You'll get notified whenever the page goes live or there's any wee updates from the page at all. And it also helps us bring this content to you guys as well. Because we love doing this. And as I say, on the night as well, guys, I did mention to you there's a live podcast. The podcast won't be being recorded, and it won't be live on YouTube on that Friday night on the 28th. So there'll be no podcast coming out on YouTube. If you want to see the podcast, guys, you need to come along to the event. That was another reason why we've taken that decision as well, because this is our first experience of doing that inside a venue, instead of doing it the way we're doing it just now. So again, guys, we would love to see you all there. Because there's lots of things happening that night. So evening, Monty.
Evening, Monty.
Saying good evening, mate. We're saying good night. So I hope you don't take that personally, mate. But yeah, Ryan, anything at all, mate, you wish to add? Have I missed anything?
No, like you says, mate, you're spot on in terms of the night. It'll be a fantastic night, loads of fantastic prizes as well and raffles, and it'd be good for everybody in the chat to meet other people as well. They'll maybe been talked to on YouTube and stuff as well. Yes. And it's good for us to see people who are listening to us on this, and be good to see their facially as well, and in the night as well. Again, it is only £2, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So where else can you get a buffet and DJ and raffles and two guys Paul was still game for 45 minutes for £2. You can't whack it. So it will be good to meet people. It'll be good to.
I hope you, by the way, I hope when I join you, I hope you change your topic of conversation.
What, to a half-time show?
The two guys that are talking about still game, I hope you don't get up when I get there.
No, but definitely JP, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's a new experience for us as well, doing a live event. But again, it'll be really good to obviously put what we're doing here out, obviously, in a live audience as well. And again, like JP says, please subscribe to the podcast, like and share away, please. Everything we do is for the fans. And the more
share
likes and shares,
family.
the more subscribers, the more guests we can get on, the more content we can do, and it just gives us more content to put out for you as well, guys. So I appreciate tuning in tonight, and hopefully we see many on the night as well.
What I will say, guys, before we go away tonight, be on the lookout over the next week, guys. There will be a couple of announcements happening with the podcast and what's going to be happening before the live event as well. There'll be some stuff going on before then. So again, guys, tune in. If you can only use the YouTube, that's fine. Just click on the wee icon. It'll take you into our channel and go into the community. Over the next week, guys, there'll be some stuff getting in there, some nice and juicy stuff happening in there. Obviously, we'll be posting on my normal social media platforms as well. But yeah, be on the lookout. There'll be a couple of wee things happening before the live fundraiser that hopefully some of you can get involved in as well. So, yeah. And before I go, a massive hail from me.
Hail from me.
And see you again, guys.
Take care.
Cheers.
Well, all right, lads. Guten Tag.